As emerging technologies reshape economies and societies, the need for robust data governance has become a critical issue for government and stakeholders across the globe. It is in light of this development that regulators, policymakers, and industry leaders from Africa and the rest of the world gathered in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, for the Network of African Data Protection Authorities Conference and Annual General Meeting 2025. The theme of the conference, which is "Balancing Innovation in Africa: Data Protection and Privacy in Emerging Technologies," is a reflection of how digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, and Internet of Things are reshaping African contemporary societies. The conference, hosted by the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, is aimed at exploring how African countries can strike a balance in fostering innovation while ensuring robust data protection and governance. While officially declaring the conference open, the Vice President of Nigeria, Senator Hashim Shettima, said the Nigerians' journey in data protection has been an evolving narrative of progress as the nation has committed itself to privacy and dignity of citizens. This, he said, has brought transformation.
I will now read His Excellency's remarks. A historic day like this calls our attention to the distance we have traveled in defending the rights and freedoms of our people. At the heart of this power is the inalienable right to privacy, the freedom to be left alone in our private pursuits, in our homes, in our faiths, and in our thoughts. I am therefore most delighted to welcome you to this gathering of minds, one that speaks to the present and the future of our continent. The right of every African to control their personal data and decide how it is used. The foundation for this right was laid decades ago when our forebears convened in Banjul in 1981 to bequeath to us the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Nigeria's journey in data protection has been an evolving narrative of progress, proof that when a nation commits itself to privacy and dignity, transformation follows. The Nigerian Data Protection Regulation came into effect in 2019. And in one of the boldest steps of this administration, within just 14 days of assuming office, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, signed the Nigeria Data Protection Act into law and established the Nigeria Data Protection Commission that is hosting this event today.
Shettima, who was represented at the event by Senator Ibrahim Hadija, Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, went down memory lane on the nation's journey towards data governance, which began with the domestication of the African Charter in 1983 and culminated in the signing onto the law, the Nigerian Data Protection Act 2023, and the establishment of the Nigerian Data Protection Commission by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. In his opening remarks, the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, enumerated the steps Nigeria has taken to ensure that future technological progress will be inclusive and also protect the right of the individuals.
This is a demonstration of what is possible when government and the private sector come together around a shared mission. As I conclude, I want to specifically commend the Nigeria Data Protection Commission for their work in anchoring this conversation on both the national and continental levels. But I think we should also add, whilst also participating in global conversations. We must continue to build bridges across borders, lower barriers to innovation, while ensuring that data privacy is at the foundation of everything we create.
The minister then went ahead to launch the Data Protection Virtual Academy, which he described as a global first initiative that will provide data privacy training for persons in both the public and private sectors. Earlier, the National Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, Dr. Vincent Olatunji, in his welcome address, noted that the Commission has made a tremendous progress in this short period of its establishment. Some of the achievements recorded include increased revenue generation and the provision of thousands of jobs.
To generate over $1.2 million to government in terms of registration fee, with data protection authorities across Africa. We have signed MOU with a lot of regulators, a resilient and trusted African digital future, data governance. And Nigeria is committed to data protection authorities for enforcement cooperation, data governance standards aligned with global best practice. I urge all member states and no barriers will be insightful, solution-driven. Thank the federal government of Nigeria under the legal ecosystem this far. More important to office of Mr. President. I think it deserves a round of applause. My Honorable Minister of Digital Economy, also the Honorable Minister of Youth, has also gone to the state level. We, for a very long while, he's always been very, very supportive himself, Commissioner to Nigeria, and the German Ambassador of Lottery Commission is here. He's all to further strengthen and further deepen data privacy issues across nations.
There were goodwill messages from the Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, the Deputy Governor of Kebbi State, Umar Tafida, who represented the Governor, and the Chairman Senate Committee on ICT and Cybersecurity, Shuaib Afolabi Salisu, respectively.
Let me simply follow the protocol. Again, the host, the chairman, the general, the workaholic man, and the man that always wants things to go the way he wants. Nobody can tell me that it's not for the young people. Innovation, technology, whatever we call it, all you do. Next that are here, the gentlemen of the press, it's not a statement anymore. It's now a slogan. 70% of the population of this country, neither in their 40s or 30s or 35. And I'm happy, very happy, to address this important gathering to our nation in this era. As we come, especially that of the that is important to Nigeria, as well as transformation. The navigate that is present at the risk is a privatization to ensure that the data protections framework that we are is inclusive of African data protection, authorities of the NDPC, and the strengthening of the network to operation only protected, but also actively involved in shaping the digital space of the African future. We believe with all smart move and with all other MDAs and other countries that are looking forward for the protection's responsibility. Thank you very much. Like the MC have said, and other people have made sure that Nigeria is the forefront of any protections we are going to have in Africa. We are having now, and we are proud of the NDPC and also the Ministry of Innovation. One thing that brought us together is our unity in our diversity, and this is what we are all working on. I welcome you again from all over the country. Well, thank you, and God bless you.
Other highlights of the event included a tour of Exhibition Pavilion, plenary sessions, panel discussions paper presented by Abdul Hakim Ajijola, titled Regulatory Approaches to Privacy and Data Protection in Africa. As the continent looks forward to next year's NADPA conference and annual general meeting, it is expected that the lessons learned in 2025 session will help regulators and policymakers across Africa to entrench robust data governance structures in their various countries.
For more on well-researched and balanced stories, events, and interviews across business, tech innovation, and lifestyle, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, www.youtube.com/digivationnetwork.